What is up, guys? Welcome back to video number 2. If you have not already, go check out my first video. Got over 1,000 views, so for those of you who have viewed it, thank you so much for the support. Also, if you have not already, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot to hopefully try to get the page trending and get more subscribers. For today's video, as the title suggests, I'm going to give you guys a few tips and then show some winter trout fishing footage. So to get into the tips, tip number 1 that I have for you guys who are trying to catch wintertime trout is find slower water. Typically the trout, they don't like to hang out in fast currents and ripples like that just because they're trying to save and conserve energy in the winter. So find a section of stream or river that is has deeper pools and the current's moving a lot slower. Tip number 2 is work your baits a lot slower also, because then it stays in the kill zone longer, and if they're not as aggressive, it gives them more time to kind of react to it. And my final tip is to find a good day to go out. So for me, we've had a bad cold snap here in Minnesota for like the past couple weeks, and today is supposed to be the first day where it gets above freezing, and so I'm hoping the warmer weather will kind of turn on the action a little bit more. Enough of me talking, let's get into the video.
Coming up on the first real spot of the day. Just kind of a deeper bank here on the left side. Not a lot of moving water, so they could be stacked up in here, we'll see. Nothing on the first cast, little weed. There's a fish. Pretty good brown. Kind of caught me off guard there. I was not paying attention. See if we can get him in the net. It's the hardest part. There's a good one. First fish of the day, probably a 13-inch brown, if you guys can see that. When it's winter time, you always want to try to keep the fish in the water, just because their eyes freeze up. It's not good on their gills. Let's see if I can hold this guy up for y'all. Real pretty fish. I'd say 13 inches, maybe 12. Let's get her back. Another fish. Got a jumper. Whoa. Whoa! I lost count. That was at 5 jumps. Little guy, probably 10 inches. That was fun. Hooked out right away. There she is. I hope you guys can see that. And we'll get her back. Here's another deep pool we're walking up on. Lots of options for them to be. First thing that catches my eye is the tree in the water. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot stacked up there and on that far cut bank. It's probably where we need to put the bait. Not a lot of moving water. You'd think they'd be in here if we can find where they're sitting. Oh, yep, right there. Caught me off guard again. It's good to know they're in here. That guy was aggressive. He followed all the way up. There he is. Whoa! There he is. Whoa! Nice one. Isn't that something else? Best fish there is to catch is a trout. They can't tell me otherwise. They're pretty, they fight hard, And we got her in the net. Hope I got that on video, all those jumps. Another tip, always wet your hands before touching these guys. They are very prone to infections and other stuff like that, diseases. This is a male here, I can tell by the jaw. Beautiful trout. And didn't quite get him up for you guys to see. Right next to the tree there, we'll see if we can pull one out. Yep, little guy. Real little brown. Come here, buddy. Choked the big bait though. For not a very big guy, he really hammered that. Real little brown. They probably stocked him maybe in the fall, maybe last year sometime. There he goes. There's a fish, real little guy. Whew. Can't even pull's not even bending. Oh, there was a bigger trout chasing it. Wow. I don't know if the GoPro caught that or not, but there was a giant chasing this little guy trying to eat it. You can see he's not very big. Plenty big enough for a big trout to eat. Hopefully the camera picked that up. So there's the answer if there's any big ones in here. Be nice if I had a Rapala to throw out. Little tap there. Fish. Good one too, I think. No, not too big. A real skinny guy. Can fight pretty hard though, bud. Probably another 12. Walk over to the bank here so I can set my pole down without getting it soaked. There, hopefully you guys can see him in the net. There you can see, real long, skinny trout. He needs to eat more. There's a good one. This one kind of looks like a rainbow. Nope, brown. Fighter. And just a lighter colored brown, that's what it is. Set the pole on the bank. I'm trying to do my best to not get the reel wet, but it has gotten wet a few times. See if I can hold this one up for you guys. Get her a drink. Another, I don't know, foot long, 13 inches. Kind of been the average today besides the little guys. There she goes. Camera on. I was working on the GoPro, making sure it was on, and one just hit my jig sitting on the bottom here. So another brown. Yeah, they are stacked in here, kind of what I was hoping. Hopefully he's not deep. Nope, I can see it. So yeah, that jig was just, unless it hit it on the way down, that jig was just sitting on the bottom and picked it up. Another pretty one. Love the red spots on them. That was my favorite part when you catch those. I'd say another 12-incher. There she goes.
As you guys saw, it was a great day out on the water. I believe I caught 12, but only 8 made the clip just because a few of them, my footage was just terrible on the head mount. I'm still getting used to wearing a GoPro on top, so hopefully the footage will keep improving as I make more videos, but we will see. 12 fish in a couple hours, that's pretty in line with summertime for me when I'm out trout fishing. So for anyone who says that you can't really catch much in the wintertime, totally wrong. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. As I've said before, like, comment, subscribe, helps me out a lot. There'll be more videos coming, and thank you guys.